What, walk me a while?
Yeah. Yeah, I do, Pete.
You boys.
What is up, Chocolatiers? Big fan of The Long Walk, so I was definitely excited for this movie. Just some preface. This is my favorite book of all time. I know it's kind of a basic book considering what else he's written. But a big Stephen King fan. I do have some older stuff of his I have to get to, but I read this like in the height of COVID. Right after I read some of his old classics like The Stand, stuff like that, right? And this one just resonated with me, and I think it was because the characters like Peter and Ray and you know, that whole Musketeer squad. And I just really was excited. I remember the initial day I finished reading the book, I think it took me like 2 or 3 days. I was like, man, a movie on this would go crazy. But did it go crazy? Let's get right into that. So A Long Walk is directed by Francis Lawrence. And like I said before, this movie is based on Stephen King's book, The Long Walk, which isn't just one of my favorite King books. It is my favorite book of all time so far. I read it on Kindle initially. I bought it a physical copy because I'm a physical guy. And I've gone back to it over and over and even tried to get my friends into it. And so believe me when I say this, that this movie had a lot of hype to live up for me. So initial premise is that if you're new to the story, here's kind of the spoiler-free setup. Every year the government holds the Long Walk, where 100 contestants must walk nonstop until one remains. Step below the required pace and you're warned. 3 warnings and you're out permanently. The last man standing gets money and essentially a wish, like whatever he wants. Now in the book that speed is 4 miles per hour, and in the movie they adjusted it to 3, and I'm actually glad they did that. And I felt like 4 miles was very brutal, even just imagining it, and Stephen King himself apparently approved that change and wanted that change before he handed in the script and was like, hey, like, go ahead, or not handed the script, but, you know, gave permission to go into the movie. And that's when we get to the cast and characters, because at the center of this story is Ray Garrity, played by Cooper Hoffman. And I'll admit it, when the casting was first announced, I just really wasn't convinced. Not his acting ability, of course, but just I feel like Ray is a character I've held close for years, and Cooper didn't really immediately catch, you know, the version in my head. But as soon as I saw that first trailer, I realized that I was wrong, and this movie just kind of confirmed that, because he is phenomenal here. Then there's David Johnson as Peter McVries, who was my favorite character in the book, and in this film, Johnson absolutely steals the show, even more so than Peter did in the book. The chemistry between him and Hoffman really grounds the story, and you believe these two guys care about each other even when they're trapped in a nightmare of survival, because this is all on their own luck. This is voluntarily. And we can't forget about Mark Hamill as the Major. I was curious how they'd handle him, and Hamill delivers exactly the right amount of menace and theatrical presence. It's a performance that kind of sticks with you. Now, there are some adaptation choices that I really liked. One of the things I love about this movie is how much it respected the details of the book. Stuff I honestly thought that they'd cut, like, for example, like how they deal with basic human needs, like eating, drinking, and unglamorous stuff like peeing on the road and crapping. And it all matters because those details are what make The Long Walk more than just a survival story. They make it feel real. Of course, there are some changes, you know, some characters kind of combined, some moments reworked, but most of what worked for me, in fact, there are a couple of character arcs that I dare say were even handled a little bit better for me here than in the book. And let me be clear, this is not just a kids walking a line. On the surface, it might sound boring, but this is really about the slow unraveling of humanity under pressure. It's psychological, it's tragic, and it's weirdly kind of beautiful. Like, you get a lot of shots in this movie. Some of my favorite shots of the year, actually. It's so beautifully shot. Now, the emotional impact now reading the book, and the deaths hit hard, of course, but seeing them on the screen, it's kind of another level. Francis Lawrence and cinematographer team created an absolutely haunting imagery. There are at least 2 shots in this movie, like I said, is some of my favorite shots of the year, and the music complements them perfectly. It doesn't overwhelm, it just elevates the tension and heartbreak. When the side characters start dropping, you feel it, but when it's the ones that we've really gotten attached to, that's when it cuts deep. Now, I want to get into the ending. No spoilers, but I do have to talk about it briefly, because this is where my feelings get complicated. They didn't stick completely to the book. Instead, they kind of blended some elements and went in a completely different direction. I almost want to say slightly, but it's kind of a jarring change, because something happens halfway, not halfway, but like, I want to say like maybe 10 minutes before the ending happens, and if you're a book reader, you're kind of like, huh, wonder where they're going with this. You know, on one attempt, I actually respect the ending, and on the other, I couldn't help but wish that they had just went on and committed fully to King's ending, because it's not a total miss, but it left me more conflicted than satisfied. And because of that, I can't quite give it the 10 out of 10 that I really wanted it to. I was fully biased. I'm being honest. Look, I was fully like, man, this is a 10. But man, dude, that ending when it happened, I was just, I don't know, man. Final thoughts, I feel like The Long Walk still leaves me in a good place. It's everything that I did hope for, and more in many ways. The performance, especially Cooper Hoffman and David Johnson, are top tier. Directing is strong, cinematography is absolutely gorgeous, and the adaptation choices mostly respect King's vision while making just enough changes for the film. Like I said, the only thing holding it back from me calling this movie of the year, honestly, is that ending. But even with that, this is a film that I'll be thinking about for a long time. And so with that, I'm going to give this movie a 9.5 out of 10. It's not perfect, but it's powerful, beautiful, and absolutely worth watching, whether you've read the book or not. Now, I see so many comments, I'm telling you, man, not even just like on my channel, but just like on other people's channels, especially regarding this movie. Oh man, it's impossible for humans to watch this. It's fiction. It's like that old saying goes, I can't remember the guy who said it, but like literally adults ruin everything. Like, for example, you write a story about a superhero flying, guess what the adult says? Well, how does he fly? How is he able to do this? It's literally fiction. It's supposed to be fiction. You're here for the characters, you're here for that side, you're here for that show, and that's what you get. Clearly it's not realistic. Clearly it's not. Most people have a stroke by like day 2. They probably wouldn't even be able to walk that long. But with that, this movie absolutely pretty much lived up to my expectations. Like I said, I just got a few minor complaints, but it's still up there in the top. I think just performance-wise, I really just think that it's so good. And with that, please like, subscribe for more. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on this movie. Did you like it? Did you not like it? And are you a King fan? If you are, what is your favorite Stephen King book? I want to know. Is it The Long Walk? Is it It? Is it, I don't know, something like Misery? What is it? And with that, I'll catch you guys on the next one.
I look at each and every one of you, and I see